Hello friends, I'm Colonel Faye. This is Get Back to Work, which is a series where I play work simulation games while pontificating on various topics that have been suggested to me. What are you wearing? It has to be said though, I have played many a work simulator that has significantly less life in it than this. Holy mackerel. And this is flipping lawn mowing simulator. I mean, I suppose they had to add something in to compensate for the game. Harsh much? Alright, no, I take it back. It's very well done. There you go. Anyway, I'm going to be sorting this garden out. I've finished checking the garden, so now I'm going to sort it out. Bonza. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh we're into it. Yeah, it's all on. I'm using my strimmer to start with to do some edging. Anything that I'm going to be uncomfortable using the mower on, I thought we'd just get this trimmed first. Now, I splashed out on the strimmer. I spent top flipping dollar on it. I got the best strimmer in the market. Yeah, you can tell, can't you? Yeah, this is the big dog right here. And I'm holding it by the battery. Right, today's question comes from Richard. And I'll tell you what Richard says in a minute. Can't really take my eye off this edging. I don't want to get it wrong. It's going to be much easier once I'm on my mower, because then you're just driving up and down, and up and down. Sorry, the change in volume in the strimmer there got me all excited that something was happening. Anyway, Richard says it's a shame that Rising Star 2 isn't an option for the games to be played. Part of the reason that I've gone with work simulators only is because once you're doing the work, you can largely forget about having to concentrate, and you can just get on with it, right? Whereas Rising Star, there's rather a lot more to be doing. More brain cells are required to actually play it. With a work simulator, you don't really need many brain cells at all. You just sit there, press the occasional button, and let it happen to you. Anyway, Richard asks. What's my favourite band? Yeah, that isn't my own, and what songs brings me peace? What songs or song bring me or brings me peace? Yeah, you've got to get your grammar on point at least. Oh, that's a tricky one. I had this notion the other day, right? About people saying like, oh, I like many genres of music, thinking it makes them sound interesting and unique and interesting, right? And then it occurred to me, well, I say that too, thinking it makes me sound unique and interesting. Oh no, I don't just like one genre of music, I like many genres of music. Everyone likes many genres of music. It only occurred to me because it's something that I always say, and yet that thinking that made me a little bit unusual. But actually, it really doesn't. That's normal. It's normal to like many genres of music. I'm lost. Which bit haven't I done? Go back to the edge here. You've done round there. You've done this bit here. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. Right. Okay. Yeah. You have done this bit already. All right. Okay. Yeah. You keep going because you got as far as the path, but you may as well strim a bit while you're walking. Yeah. I mean, I think the strimmer was more expensive than the ruddy mower. But, I mean, that's not the be-all and end-all. Anyway, I like many genres of music. There we go. That's where we'll go there. And that doesn't make me unique or interesting or special, because everybody does. There you go. I've covered that point twice now. But the main thing for me is I need it to have an edge. I need. I mean, I've played with a few bands, and without exception, I have always objected vociferously to the slow ones. You kind of go, we've got to throw a slow one in. You kind of go, no, we haven't. It's got no edge to it. There's no, and I don't mean it's about something edgy, because frankly, I don't care about lyrics at all. Very, very rare. I mean, a good line always works for me, but at the same time, most of the time I do not listen to the lyrics at all. And to be lyrically worthwhile, it needs to be percussive or melodic in a way that is interesting. And then, obviously, if I listen to it enough, I will learn some of the words over time. Which you would think, whoops, a daisy. As someone who is a vocalist, as probably my main instrument, that's a bit weird. But in all honesty, yeah, especially since I write as well. I've always struggled. I know I'm off topic, but I've always struggled writing lyrics. And I don't know whether that comes from not really doing it often enough to learn to get good, right? To develop a style and to get good at doing it, or whether that's down to a reluctance to speak of anything that could be construed as personal. Yeah, I know. I mean, I speak about personal things all the time doing videos, so I don't know why that would be the case. But I do genuinely think there is a reluctance to speaking of things personal, despite the fact that because I've got this inbuilt kind of semi-belief that, you know, the best lyrics come out of something personal, and yet, frequently, not really. The personal nature of it doesn't necessarily add to it. Right, fill fuel. Yep. Alright, change cutting blades. Do I need to? Okay, I'll do it. I mean, because it was inviting me to, so I figured I might as well. Get to the chopper. Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember this. Yeah. Alright. Start the engine. I'm glad all these tooltips exist, because I've forgotten how to do any of this. Oh, yeah. Use I and T to change the throttle setting. Where's it showing me where I've done? Oh, okay, got it. Alright, we're away, yeah. Then, once you're on the grass, what? Reverse the vehicle towards the grass to empty the collector. I don't know what that means. Use E and C to set the height. We're supposed to be doing 6 centimetres here. I'll be done in a moment. And then we'll be going. Where's it showing me how much I've got? Whoa, not Z. Cut height. Oh, okay. E and what? C. Some weird key choices. We'll go with 7 centimetres. Right. Oh, and then turn it on Zor. Alright, we're away. Are we? Are we away? Yeah, more or less. Can I have a better camera angle? Thank you. Actually, the one I had was probably the most practical. Yeah, that's it. Go on, Tiger. Yeah, it's a fiddly flipping garden. Glad I did me edging already. Yeah, right, okay. There we are. We're flying now. We're not flying. Hang on, fly over that bit. I'll get good at this in a moment. But at the moment, it's... Yeah, you see, I should have cut in a little bit further, and then I could just be doing up and down and up and down. That's all right, no matter. It's all good. We're rolling. So anyway, getting off my own experiences of being a wannabe rock star, let's talk bands. Okay, well look, let's try and go chronological. All right, so my first favourite band was Talking Heads. Now I grew up. I mean, my family is extraordinarily musical. And I grew up with a lot of my mum's kind of record collection from when she was a kid. So that was the Beatles. And actually, it was the Beatles. It was everything the Beatles had ever done. And then Tubular Bells. Oh boy, yeah, Tubular Bells. Love Tubular Bells. Great album. Mike Oldfield. What a clever, upstart little scamp he was. Grew up with the Beatles and a dash of Tubular Bells, but neither of my parents being, since they're classical musicians, they didn't buy any popular music, right? So that was it. really, as far as popular music was concerned. One of my friend's mums was a Barry Manilow and ABBA obsessive. So every time I'd go round to his house, she would be variously playing either ABBA or Barry Manilow. So I got a little bit of an exposure to a broader scheme of music. There were a couple of girls in my school who were whamettes, right? I mean, obsessively whamettes. And that was delightful. And this was about the point that I'd started watching Top of the Pops. Anyway, I remember being stood in the lunch queue with them at one point, and they were talking about music, and they said, like, well, do you know who AR and GM are? And I said, no. She goes, oh, you know nothing about music. He goes, Sandra Ridgely and George Michael. And I went like, yeah, still nonplussed. Yeah, no, that Wham was largely lost on me. I wasn't that taken by Wham. But a girl in whom I was way more interested was a massive Duran Duran fan. And it has to be said, Duran Duran's tunes had a little bit more edge about them. And so I did quite like the old Duran Duran. But I didn't really get stuck into music seriously as I, listened to bands and stuff until I was much older. Probably 15, 16, 17. So rather than you kick off... Back in the 80s, you'd start developing music fandoms. Typically, you'd start developing music fandoms from kind of 10, 11, 12. Because of Top of the Pops, that would just be a thing. That would be a thing that you was part of the course. But no, not until I was kind of 15, 16 did I really start to get into it. And it was Talking Heads. And the reason that it was Talking Heads is that I saw Stop Making Sense, which is the kind of cinematic version of a gig that they did. Really good. And it was all their hits at that point. And it was a couple of years old by the time I watched it. But I was taken away by just the level of fun involved in what they were writing, as well as the musicality of it. And a lot of that musical appeal came from the playing of Tina Weymouth, who was their bass player, because she seemed to be very happy to rest in a great groove and just sit there and not feel the need to embellish on it. Now, my taste in music up to that point had been an awful lot of kind of emergent dance music. So the early days of house music I was very much into. Bomb the Bass, loved Bomb the Bass, and Mars, and all of that kind of era of stuff. I really liked it, and the first tune in that kind of category that lit me up was Paul Hardcastle and his 19. Yeah, I know, it's so incredibly dated now, but that was revolutionary when it came out. Now, obviously, Herbie Hancock had done similar with the likes of Rocket prior to that. Herbie Hancock, of course, being a jazz musician. And I was aware of Michael Jackson and big stuff, but the stuff that really caught my attention was early electronic, but not in a cool way, in a chart way, because I wasn't very cool. I was a bit of a nerd. Still am a bit of a nerd. I was a rugby playing drama nerd. And a musical, rugby playing musical drama nerd. And as such, who was very heavily into Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer. Really, it's a miracle I got a girlfriend ever. Drama nerd. Oh yeah, of course. Drama nerds, man. Yeah. If you're the combination of being a drama nerd and playing rugby at the same time, so you're built like a big lad, and at the same time you're all prithee and hey nonny and hanging out with the and being outnumbered by the number of girls who are into drama. Flipping target-rich environment, my friends. Obviously, I had no strategy with that regard, but let me tell you, it's an approach. I had loads of girlfriends. I had no idea what I was doing. I was hopeless. They'd all chuck me in no time flat because I had no idea what I was doing. I was magnificent. I was a magnificent young man. Herself always said, I tangent a little bit. She goes, "Thank God you never realised just the awesome array of superpowers you've got when it comes to appealing to women." And I went, no, I don't believe that in the slightest, because I never thought I was that successful. But there are numerous stories I could tell you about me totally missing when someone who I thought was kind of cute was very much into me. It's in the dozens, and I'd just be totally oblivious. I'll give you one story, and I might even have given this story before, but I'll give you one story on the topic, and this is when I was in university. When I was in university, you would think I would know better, but nope. Girl who I quite liked, certainly in a, well, she's quite pleasing to hang around with, and all of that kind of behaviour. We're coming back from the pub. Neither of us have had a skinful, but we're coming back from the pub, and in the year earlier, she and her friends had rented the house that me and my friends were renting in this, which would have been the third year. And so for those elsewhere, that's a senior year effectively. And it was hammering it down with rain. So we were both drenched when we got back to the house. We were the only people getting back to the house. And she goes like, "Oh, which bedroom are you in?" And I went, "Oh, I'm at the one at the back upstairs." And she goes, "Oh, that used to be my room. Can I come and see it?" And so she goes in there, parks herself on the bed, just sat there. I go get her a towel. What a gentleman. Totally oblivious. And it dawned on me about 5 years later, all of a sudden, dude, that was what's known in the trade as an open goal. And I went like, oh God, I'm so dumb. I am so dumb. Anyway, herself always used to point out that it is miraculous. I would have been a very different person had I realised just how many opportunities I've been passing up. Hey ho. Yeah, well, there it is. And you know what else? I rather like that about me. I like that fallibility. I think it's moderately charming. Anyway, back on topic. How did I get onto that topic in the first place? Oh yeah, I was a drama, music, role playing, rugby playing nerd. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, okay. So Talking Heads. Yeah, I really like Talking Heads. Lyrically, I like them. If you've never seen Stop Making Sense, whether you're a fan of the band or not, well worth a watch. Just the way that they work together is phenomenal. But I like Tina Weymouth's bass lines particularly. David Byrne's got a very distinctive voice, and that helped because it sort of, it helped to kind of cut through. And between the ages of 15 and 18, probably 15 and 18, I obsessively bought everything they'd ever recorded on cassette, all of it. And there are no weak albums. Some albums are better than others. Their earlier stuff is superior, but some of their later stuff has got real standout tracks on it. So off the album Naked, for example, Blind is phenomenal. Absolutely love Blind, and that's because of the horn arrangement on it. And as a trombone player at the time, a good horn section always set my synesthesia off like nobody's business. Holy mackerel! Yeah, I mean, it would set a really good horn part would set my set every flipping follicle on my body just standing on end. It was amazing. But Blind is fantastic in that regard. Uh, yeah, how am I only 55% done? Feels like it should be higher. Maybe they do want it at 6 centimetres rather than 7. Well, they can do one. They'll have it 7 centimetres and they can whistle. Oh no, there's still a chunk over here. Alright, okay, carry on. Yeah, so that was my first kind of, this is my band. But that changed all of a sudden, in an instant, overnight, when I was 17, 18, where I got overlap with Public Enemy. Now, I started with, I had Public Enemy, the Dead Kennedys, and I mean, quite a lot of skate punk. Or rather, it wasn't called skate punk. It was just punk, but it was particularly Californian punk. Really, I loved the energy of it. Absolutely loved the energy of it. Jello Biafra, the lead singer of Dead Kennedys. I mean, he's got as distinctive a voice as it's possible to have, and it's, as a vocalist, yeah, I'm going the other way, I'm mixing it up and keeping it real. You go like, it shouldn't work, but it really does. Jello Biafra's cut through is remarkable. And then, you know, the flip side of that, of being into Public Enemy as well, Chuck D in his heyday would deliver a line like the voice of God. Just incredible. Just the level of authority he could put into a single line. And my love of Public Enemy came about because of Do the Right Thing. I was obsessively watching movies like they were going out of fashion. I caught Do the Right Thing, and Fight the Power plays throughout that movie. It's the tune that one of the main characters, who's called, is he called Radio or is it Boombox? But he's got this massive ghetto blaster and he's just playing the riff from Fight the Power throughout the entire thing. The opening titles. Hello, Jeff. Of the movie is, oh, what's her name? It's, oh, I'm snagged. Hang on. I've snagged my tractor. Hang on. There you go. That's it. Oh, what's her name? Well, Rosie Perez. Rosie Perez dancing to the riff from Fight the Power is the opening the opening titles of the movie. I mean, and properly going for it as well. Just absolutely throwing thunderous dance moves at it. I mean, it's a non sequitur as it goes, but my goodness me, is it a stand up and pay attention. Hell of a movie. Do the Right Thing is spectacular. And I mean, since that point, I've always had a soft spot for stuff by Spike Lee. The Five Bloods, which is one of his more recent movies, felt like they hadn't thrown enough money at it. Felt like the budget was too low. Great performances in it, but it's a little bit patchy. And you kind of go, well, the movie he made before that was Inside Man. And Inside Man is amazing. I mean, that's a great movie. But I don't know. Anyway, I digress once more. So Public Enemy, again, obsessively going and picking up everything they did. The Dead Kennedys picked up everything they did. There were other bands that I kind of dabbled with in the Californian punk kind of thing, skate punk, because it was listened to by skateboarders, and it was on, you know, it would accompany a lot of skateboard videos and stuff like that, which is why I think of it as skate punk. So Black Flag, for example, I listened to Black Flag, love Henry Rollins. I think Henry Rollins is great. Black Flag they were okay. Never really hit it for me, but I mean, you go listen to Holiday in Cambodia and you just kind of go, holy cow, the level of just Holiday in Cambodia musically is terrifying. The way they put that together, the run out at the end is absolutely ruddy, spectacular. Holy cow, what a tune. Yeah. No, love it. Love Holiday in Cambodia. I think that's fantastic. I mean, people go on about California Uber Alice is very good, but holiday in Cambodia, man, that's where it's at. So yeah, so I obsessively bought stuff by Public Enemy and by the Dead Kennedys, and what do you know? I discovered my soundtrack to being an angry young man. And Jeff, I'm talking. Hello, I acknowledge your presence, and I'm very pleased that you're here. But I'm in the middle of something. Could you perhaps put a fork in it for a bit? And no, it's not food time. You've got another hour. No. Make yourself comfortable. Sit down. I've got to get back to work. He's coming up. Okay. Yeah. So I had my soundtrack to being an angry young man, and at university I drove a turquoise and white. Try not to touch the microphone, Jeff. All right. That's the only thing that you can't do. I drove a turquoise and white Volkswagen camper van, and the camper van was known as the Battle Brick. Jeff, don't headbutt the microphone. Thank you. Look, you made me row completely off flipping course. Just there you go. I give you attention with my chin. There you go. How's that? I see you like that. Right, where am I facing? Feels like the camera's inverted. Yeah, it does. You're not interested in watching the lawnmower do its thing? No? Okay. All right. Oh, I can play this one-handed. There you go. Yeah, so there you go. And I got a reputation for being an angry young man. Largely because I've always been quite good at pantoing my character. And therefore I cultivated angry young man. And along with my other bandmates, we were all angry young men. Apart from Steve. Steve was very happy. Steve was the keyboard player. Who used my keyboard. Yeah, I know. And Steve was a happy young man. Everybody else was an angry young man. There you go. We're very, very angry young men. And my camper would always be ploughing. Which album was I playing most of? Well, you see, I'd gone through. I mean, Fear of a Black Planet was still my was my number one. I know everyone says It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back is a much better album, and I get that, but frankly, the camper van blasting out "Who Stole a Soul" was a clarion call. We all loved that. That was terrific. But it was also around that time I discovered the Pixies, who aren't the Pixies, they are just Pixies. And my favourite Pixies tune is not the one you would expect. You can go, Where's My Mind? And you're going to go, great tune, love Where's My Mind. Nope, that's not it. No. And my favourite Pixies tune is the greatest tune recorded by any band at any point in history. The absolute 100% guaranteed top of the tree best tune by any band ever. And that tune is Planet of Sound. Holy cow, Planet of Sound. If I want to get stuff done, you stick Planet of Sound on. Yeah. You know what? I should do that. I haven't done that in a while. Now, when I started doing programming in a more serious fashion, I'd always kind of mucked about with programming as a kid. But when I started doing programming more seriously, I would find one tune and just listen to it on repeat all day. And because I found that it worked really well. This is not that unusual either. A lot of people do this. But I found that it would put me into a flow state very, very quickly. And once you're locked into that state and getting stuff done, and it's like you're seeing the Matrix come to life, your productivity goes through the roof. Until you hit that state, however, not so much. And I think the two tunes that have, for me, been the two best productivity flow state inducers are Planet of Sound by the Pixies and Reptilia by the Strokes. Yeah, quite like the Strokes. Again, they're a bit more hit and miss. Their great tunes are great. Their less great tunes, I can pass on them. They get a little bit too close to slow tunes for my tastes. Now, I like some slow tunes. I do like... No, I'd go further than that. I flipping love Radiohead. Yeah, I'm one of those. And it's because it's great. Musically, just fantastic. Radiohead is superb. There's an unofficial documentary of Radiohead, which if you watch my channel, you might get it recommended based on how lookalike viewership works on YouTube. It's an unofficial, and it's by a channel called Hund, the German for dog, right? H-U-N-D. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long, and if you like Radiohead at all, go watch it. It is exceptionally well made. If it were a professionally made documentary, it would be up there with among the best professional music documentaries ever made. I was very, very impressed by it. Yeah, very, very impressed. It was incredibly well made. Right, Jeff, I need the mouse for a sec. I just need to see what I've missed. I've missed something. Don't you stretch, son. We're not finished. I've done the tree. Yeah. I've done this plant pot. Maybe it's at the other end. Maybe I didn't finish the other end fully. Do a quick whip over here just to be on the safe side. Yeah. Now it's just about, pulling donuts as often as possible. So then fast forward early 2000s. I'm probably missing someone. I'm missing Nine Inch Nails. There you go. Nine Inch Nails were the band of my generation, turning up at exactly the right time, along with Marilyn Manson. Another great music documentary, actually, is about Geffen, so Geffen Records, and how he basically locked in the sounds of the 90s with Marilyn Manson and Nine Inch Nails. He signed both of them, identifying bands that nobody else was rightfully interested in. Trent Reznor's great, and I mean his writing's really good. His first album, massive fan of Nine Inch Nails as well. We went to see him play in the Royal Albert Hall a couple of years ago. Fantastic stuff, just fantastic. I think we're done here. Right, turn that off. Oh, cease that infernal racket, and then what? You can probably turn that off. 99.3. They only wanted... Oh, I think they wanted 99.5. Well, you know what? Let's turn that down, right? Then turn it off. Then get off a tractor. Get off a tractor. It kept telling me to press Q to get off the tractor. I'd like to get off the tractor, please, such that I may go get my strimmer and try a little bit more precision. Jeff, you are not conducive to... Yeah, recharge the strimmer. Thank you. Right. Jeff, I'm going strimming, mate. Alright, okay. 99.5 I've got to get to. We will find the errant bits that I have missed on the main journey. Yeah, so Nine Inch Nails, every album has got high points on it. Most definitely every album's got high points on it. Some absolutely indispensable tunes in there as well. Yeah. The Hand That Feeds by Nine Inch Nails is the tune I used to help herself get over her fear of flying. I taught her to think of it as a roller coaster, and that Takeoff was really great, particularly if Takeoff was accompanied by the right soundtrack. And so we'd both listen to it at the same time. When they'd say, turn all your devices off, yeah, we were among the people that didn't. Yeah, I know, which was just about everybody. You were just being overcautious. It's like the caution that says, turn your mobile phone off while you're filling up your car with petrol at a petrol station. Do you know why that rule exists? It's because at some point there was an accident in a petrol station and whoops, oh, gently, and as part of the accident, someone got badly burned, and it killed them. All right, this is not good. That person had a mobile phone in their pocket. There was no proof that the mobile phone had anything to do with the fire having happened, none whatsoever. But from that point on, mobile phones in garages verboten. I mean, you could rationally, you can just say, what? But because I mean, how often has your mobile phone in the original era? Now your Samsung Galaxies, when they all started blowing up, all right, then you've got some rationale behind it. But this is before that by a long time. Mobile phones did not spontaneously combust. They were probably the safest thing in that garage, rather than cars. Aircraft slightly different, obviously. In the area of mobile signals potentially interfering with radio signals in the cockpit, yes, I grant you that. That is a legitimate concern. Anyway, Hand That Feeds was the tune that helped herself get over her fear of flying, because she was able to rationalise it. She needed a little bit of help, going like, flying isn't terrifying, it's boring. And she was never bothered about paff. No, never bothered about that. That was not the thing that concerned her. It's that she was a massive control freak. It's okay. We're all control freaks to a greater or lesser extent. But yeah, once she figured out that that's what it was the fact that she wasn't in control of the flight as it was taking place. There must be a decent sized patch that I've missed. There's a bit, I think, there. Nope. Nope, Strimmer says no. I'm going to flip him fine. There's a bit more. Come on, I've got to be close. Just don't make me do random swooping to try and find the bit that I haven't got. Although, that's probably what it's going to take. Anyway, moving to the 2000s. Let's move to the 2000s. And what I would say is probably my current favourite band. Oh, maybe they need to record more stuff, and that's Soulwax. Not too many DJs or radio Soulwax, no. I mean, they're very good, and if you get the opportunity to see them live, do. Soulwax in band form. The Any Minute Now album is amazing, and they are my favourite remixers as well, because they bring, and again it's about the bass line, they have a very distinctive style of bass line that they record. Cutting's complete. Whoop whoop. I can store my business. I'll store my business and take the money. Yeah, love Soulwax. Soulwax are absolutely brilliant. And the thing that really struck me about them is, so they record an album called Any Minute Now, and it's a great album. And then they do a remix version of it called Night Versions. Are we powered up? Hold the button. You've got to hold it to fire it up. There you go. Have we got some go? No, you need to throttle up. All right, throttle up then. There you go. Right, now we got some go. Now you wanna slap it on the back of your trailer. 10-4, good buddy. Right. I'm there. I've done it. No, I think whatever it was that popped up on the screen there was where you wanted to be. No. Oh, I could empty my hopper. All right. You can end a contract early by returning to your truck and still earn money and RP. Well, I love earning RP, as you know. Yeah. No. Well, whatever that lozenge is doing there, it wasn't offering me a pop-up. I'll figure that out if I'm ever here again. Yeah, good thinking. Right, power down. Engine off. Dismount the trailer. Dismount. Maybe you have to hold it down. Evidently that's the case. Leave the location. Will do. No jumping. Oh, it's one of those games with no jumping. Right, okay, go here. Get in the vehicle. Leave the location. Beautiful! Ready for the cover of a magazine. Which cover magazine is that? Apocalypse Monthly. Grand. Yeah, Soulwax. Anyway, they do a remixes version called Night Versions. And when they toured, it was the night versions that they did live. And I recommend you go look up the live version of a song called Crack, which is spelled Krack. And the live performance of that is incredible. It's just incredible. My favourite song off that album is Miserable Girl. That's fabulous. The night version is good as well, but I think I prefer the original, because the night versions, it's like deconstructing the original and then taking elements of it while adding in a little bit of new stuff. But the upshot is that they get the essence of the original song and turn it into a proper thumper. Yeah. Okay, right. Who have I missed off my list? The Prodigy and the Chemical Brothers. Two go hand in hand. They should be referenced in there. Yeah, most definitely. Who else have I missed off my list? My current favourites are Viagra Boys, who are they're kind of the 20 teens into 2020s version of the Hives, but anarchic and fun, and understand a great groove. Love them. I love them to bits. And the lyrics too, I'm not a thief. Oh no, I ain't no thief. They are so funny. They're very, very funny. Sweary, that's funny. I love a Sleaford Mods. Oh, there's a big one that I've missed. Sleaford Mods, I love them as well. Couple of blokes in their 50s doing very, very British spoken word hip hop, effectively. Just excellent stuff. The big one that I've missed is The Fall. Now I got into The Fall in my first year in university. Off Code Selfish was the album. Not one of their best albums, but it had Free Range on it, and Free Range is absolutely great. But then I went, back and forward and listened to. I mean, The Fall were a machine, and you either went for the cult of Marquis Smith or you didn't, and I did, because he embodied everything that I love about a frontman. Is that he's distinctive, and there's an edge to the lyricism, and the lyricism it intertwines the music in the background. And there's a saying that Mark put out there, which was, it's not repetition, it's discipline. And that's great. I mean, famously used to sack band members left, right and centre, because the band members wanted to do something more than just repeat the groove. That's not what he wanted. What he needed was a backing track, but he wanted to use musicians. He certainly mucked around with plenty of electronic stuff to try it out and see what it added in, but no, just a great band. Marquis Smith, just what a legend. The other obvious candidate missing would be Cypress Hill. Distinctive lyrics, distinctive vocalist again, but only their really early stuff. The first two albums, Black Sunday and Cypress Hill, are brilliant. Everything that came after that is, it's okay. But they got done very heavily for the sampling that they were doing. Their DJ was excellent at just nicking stuff wholesale and turning it into a heck of a backing track. And I mean, they were just stoners, right? They were stoners, and they were great fun to be around. Liked Cypress Hill a lot. Yeah. Anybody else that I've missed off my list? Anyone else? Rage Against the Machine, obviously, because you had to. Nirvana, obviously, because you had to. But I was never that big a... I mean, you like the great tunes, right? And Nevermind certainly was a storming album. Foo Fighters, obviously. Dave Grohl is the nicest man in the world. Yeah, no, forget in music. He's just the nicest man in the universe. And his while we're on music documentaries, the what is it, Sun City Studio or Studio 66 or something like that. It's one of those, which is about the studio that so many kind of legendary albums were recorded in Los Angeles. Was being shut down and was having and he did a documentary about it because that's where Nirvana recorded a lot of their stuff, and it's a really, really good documentary. Dave Grohl does a good documentary. He's done another one as well about touring in a van, and that's good as well. Who else have you missed? Anyone significant? Anyone you play all the time? No. The obvious one that I should like, but I'm a little less enthused about, is Muse. Muse are good, but it's mostly the hits that I'm into. I don't just listen devotedly to everything, including album tracks. If you really do dig the band, you listen to all of it, and you just kind of go, I just love everything that they're doing here. And it's rare to come across someone along those lines. But yeah, so I'm narrowing it down to three. It's Soul Wax, it's Public Enemy, and Talking Heads. So what have you got there? You've got a Belgian electronic band with rock edges. Yes. You've got a East Coast hip hop outfit with strong politics. Yes. You've got a post-punk art rock band with eclecticism. There you go. That's me three. Yeah. Is there a tune I find particularly emotional? Oh God. Oh. Yeah, there is. There is a song that I find particularly emotional. I'm not going to talk about it. But what song brings me peace? I stumbled across it, and the song that makes me particularly emotional, I can't even talk about it because it will just make me blub. Holy cow. And that's only because I'm emotionally fragile. But because it's not about death or loss or anything along those lines. Oh, no, I better tell you what it is, because you're going to want to look it up. Right. Steel Yourself, man. I'm going to look it up because I've got it stored somewhere. Hold on. Where's my flaming cursor? I have to tab out of that. Right. Go over here. Go to YouTube and hope it doesn't autoplay. And then we'll go into watch later. Yeah. I can't tell you why it makes me sad, because that'll set me off. I know you like these moments of real. I only do moments of real when it's appropriate. Where are we? Watch later. There we go. Right, don't autoplay. Thank you. Right. Where is it? Oh, is it called? No, it's not. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll find it because it's. You may or may not like it. It's probably quite a. What's the way to describe it? It's a Marmite tune, right? I don't know. No, I don't even think it's a love it or hate it kind of thing. But it's kind of a left field song. There you go. It's by Richard Dawson. And it's called Jogging. If you go look up the official video on YouTube, it's 7 minutes long, worth every second. And I can't tell you why it makes me sad. I predicted this would happen. Oh dear. Oh, you get more than you bargained for. Put it out of your brain. Put it out of your brain. It makes me so sad. But in a positive way, right? Positive sad. You gonna edit? No, I'm not. Right. Okay. Is there something that gives me peace? No. No, not really. Radiohead is calming, but sad. So a song that gives me peace. No. I like music to fire me up. I like music to drive me forward, to propel me in the right direction. Yeah, I don't listen to music to chill out. I use music to get ramped up. And I guess that goes even stuff like Radiohead. Radiohead I find very good for putting me into that flow state, and that's really helpful. And that's because it's cleverly written harmonically, and Tom York's voice is otherworldly, which is superb. I like his solo stuff as well. There you go. Hey, unexpected twists and turns, friends. I had a lot of fun with that. That was a really good topic. Really good topic. Thank you very much. I've been Colonel Failure. Stop thinking about tune. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll catch you next time. Cheerio.